What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another replay cast featuring Artosis. We are going old school today. So this is a game of Artosis versus iNcontrol that was played in September of 2009. So we're on Colosseum for today's game. And yeah, man, this is quite a fun little retro replay pack that I have found that I'll be bringing to you in dribs and drabs over the next couple of weeks. It's basically Baby Artosis, who's sending two SCVs here to do something. I don't know what. I've just been briefly distracted by this. Okay, so one is to get rid of the sunken. The other one is to build the depot. So yeah, imagine, guys, what is a 20... Let's see, if he's 40 odd now, and this game was played about 17, 18 years ago, it would be a 22 or 23-year-old Dan Stemkowski, or Artosis as we know him. And he is playing against iNcontrol, whose name is Jeff Robinson, if memory serves, and he sadly passed away in 2019. He was quite a well-known and liked commentator as well, so it was very sad when the news broke. He was quite a figure in Broodwar as well. So to have some games of iNcontrol versus RT is always fun. I have done a couple of them in the past, but these retro casts, I've been looking for some that are not corrupted and load nicely in the replay, in the remastered replay client, and this one works perfectly. So yeah, what does Baby Artosis versus Baby Jeff look like? I did a game of Artosis versus Idra, and comparing some of the ways that the game was being played 17, 18 years ago versus now, and it is very, very funny to see some of the changes in the meta and how they were playing then. I think perhaps more on Zerg versus Terran than perhaps... Sorry, more on Protoss versus Terran than in Zerg versus Terran, but that does remain to be seen, so we'll have to see what we have in store today. So before we get into too much action, please do hit that like button if this is the kind of game and content that you are enjoying and would like to see some more of. And you haven't yet subscribed to the channel and you're somebody that stops by on a regular basis or sees yourself doing so, please do subscribe, just helping us achieve our subscriber goals for the year. And we have really enjoyed a massive swelling of support in the channel recently, which has been really, really nice. So thank you in advance for all of your support. And yeah, man, let's get on with the game. So we have a command center. We're getting our gas. There's no... So this is a slight deviation to, I think, what you normally see. The academy and the gas. Sometimes the academy becomes before the gas, sometimes after. So this is all still relatively normal. I wouldn't say it's too fundamentally different. We'll keep an eye on if Zerg is just going to open sort of standard mutas. Artosis' scouting SCV is still alive and well. Colosseum definitely did lend itself to some pretty fun games back in the day, and it's a map that I recognized. The other map that I've got some replays on was one that I had actually never heard of before. The name escapes me now, but it was the game that the Idra replay was on. So it's kind of fun to see these old maps, right? And see, well, were they balanced? Were they problematic? Were they good? You know, we'll have to see. There is a great Day 9 game on this map as well, Colosseum. So it definitely was the map at the time. And by the way, if you are Day 9 fans, he's included in my little retro replay pack as well. So there's going to be some games between Day 9 and Artosis that were played back in the day that I'll be bringing to you as well, and I'm really looking forward to casting those, because for me, it's I will be watching them for the very first time. It's not old news at all, so my reactions will be genuine, true, and in real time. Hopefully none of those are corrupted. We'll have to see. And iNcontrol is doing some naughty things here, so he's making a Hydra Den instead of a Spire. I don't think that was standard, ever. So he's got a real sunken here, and then you've got the fake sunken over there. I don't know if Otto would have scouted this, so perhaps Lurkers is going to be the way of the go. Let's see what happens. He does have the hydrogen, there we go. So he's going to rush Lurkers. I think I heard a scan, but I'm not sure. So he did scan the natural. And I potentially also scan the main. So I think he's now probably got a sense of what's happening. We'll know pretty quickly by his reaction to the lurkers. He's gone pretty fast armory here and factory. So apparently 2009 Artosis liked to play mech, which is fascinating to me because I've done so many of his games recently where he's been doing mech as a surprise. And by the way, this is a Spire lurker like combo build, so it's not so much a lurker rush only. It's this weird kind of combination of the two. I actually don't know what I'm seeing here, but but I'm enjoying it anyway, if that makes sense. We're also going to expand behind our little group of hydras that are going to probably come strolling in here. We've also got some vultures out. So mech versus lurker. No mutas as of yet. So this, I have no idea how these builds are going to clash with each other because I'm just not used to seeing them. I've never seen lurker against mech. If Zerg had an idea of opening lurker and they scout mech, I think usually that's kind of the end of it for them. That's the end of that egg though. Bye bye. These eggs though look like they're going to come in no problem. What does he have defending his front door though? Oh, he's blocked up the door here with some lings. And I don't know if these vultures are going to get in, especially if they don't have speed. So we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, our lurkers are kind of sneaking in here. This is going to challenge me, man. This is really going to... Is he going to try and hit these from the upground? The high ground? He sure is, guys. Oh my god. This is so cheeky. Oh! The mines have done good work so far and kills a lurker. Second lurker though doesn't die, and suddenly Otto is looking in a world of pain. I don't know how he gets out of this. He's got a couple of Goliaths there behind the wall. He never did move these vultures in here, so the only thing really to be seen is the lurker harassment. Vultures have come and tidied this up. And this has been pretty well held. He's just scanned several times and done. So like I've said before, I've never ever seen lurkers against a mech opening. And now we know why. I don't think it's all that good from a Zerg perspective, that's for sure. Alrighty, some mutas have hit the field just to keep us on our toes. And there are no turrets here of any kind, so this is going to be pain. The Goliaths have shown themselves. He is now also getting the Charon boost upgrade, which will help a lot. I think Zerg reckons has got the critical mass here to take on the Goliaths that he can see, especially with reinforcements coming along. Artosis is floating. Bit of money. Does lose one meter, that's about it though. So vultures have come in here, and this hatchery might go down. Zerg's gonna have to send some mutas to tidy this up, and it doesn't look like he's going to. It looks like he's happy to lose that hatch. I don't know if I quite agree with that from a tactical point of view. Decides to hightail it out of there. And did do a fair amount of damage with that harassment. But yeah, this is done. Cheers. Now we got some lings, we got some mutas. Looks like iNcontrol wants to keep pushing forward. Lings running in the front door. But the lings aren't really getting anywhere. Every single ling there died. In exchange for very little. Does dive back in with the mutas. Doesn't have a lot by way of Goliaths, but does decide to get out of there. Couple of bruised mutas. So we're a 2-basing Zerg. No, we're not. We're a 3-basing Zerg. So this was his 4th base, and perhaps because he had been a little greedy, decided just to abandon that spot and rather try and defend here. So I think we can kind of make sense now of why he left this to die. And what an interesting start to this game. We got vessels out really nice and early, which is good to see because now Artie can throw radiates onto the mutas, reducing their effectiveness, which kind of forces iNcontrol to go into Hydras now, the standard Hydra play, which is why we can see he's getting faster Hydraless movement, upgrading missile attacks. So he knows as well that Hydras are going to be a very important unit for him as this game progresses. Just going to add a few more factories to his repertoire. And iNcontrol's got some mutas left, but I think it's going to be a Hydra muta Ling combo. Also the upgrades running out of the Evo chambers is going to be very important. Does still have a lurker or two just to protect high ground positions and to slow down any pushes. We don't see a hive yet. We also don't see a queen's nest as of yet. So it's not a quick tech tree from iNcontrol. I don't know how fashionable the faster hives were in this timeline. I don't think they were nearly as popular as they are today. So it doesn't surprise me to see that he's going to probably stick on layer tech for the foreseeable future. So Arto is now getting some tanks and some siege mode, which makes sense against the Hydras. I think he's expecting to see mass Hydra from iNcontrol. iNcontrol is pretty much just strengthening up his ability to make Hydras. Has got himself somewhat horribly supply blocked, but now some overlords do pop, so he's good to go again. So he's doing a bit more mutas harassment. I think when the first irradiate goes down, we're not going to see any more mutas. There we go. And he has not done a good split off here. So the irradiated muta is killed so many others, and the Goliaths have come to tight airport steps. So that trade did not go well at all. You can see Artosis goes into a bit of a supply lead as a result of that one. And yeah, I think iNcontrol is going to need a new plan. Is mixing in lurkers and hydras. So a hydra lurker composite seems to be the way he wants to go. A decent number of tanks here, so it's kind of important for Artosis, I think, for iNcontrol to go mass Hydra, but we can start to see that that is the way. That's going to be the way of it. Although he is mixing in a handful of lurkers into the composition as well, which I think is probably with the right sort of micro going to be okay. He doesn't want to lose his lurkers to these mines. How these mines don't trip, dude. This game. Every time that happens, I always think to myself, this game, seriously. It's like predictably unpredictable, as deep as that sounds. Alright, so we're looking at a scary mass of yellow hydras heading up the hill. These engagements are going to be really juicy when they do happen. It does have still a decent number of mutas. It's not making any more, making some Scourge. I think perhaps knowing that there are some other threats like vessels. So Scourge being a good counter to that makes a lot of sense. It does have this pod of like almost like early warning / slowing down a counter attack from Terran in place, which I think is very smart. Mutas pick off this turret, no dramas, and are going to basically just slow down the establishment of this base. Artosis is still just on 2 bases, so the meme lives on. He's 15 minutes, he still doesn't have a third. The plan though does seem to be to try and establish that. There's quite a lot of yellow spread everywhere here. It's taking a base up here, it's got an overlord here, so iNcontrol's vision on the map is insanely good. And here we see the move out, so this is where these lurkers are going to earn their money. Admittedly though, he does have a vessel, so it's not like he's going to be surprised. He is just going to be slowed down. which gives Zerg an opportunity to position his army. So we can see it comes in from the top side. These mines do find a trigger. Look at the flank though. Look at the flank. He's coming in from both sides here. Now the tanks don't know what to fire on. And the lurker spines are doing really, really good damage. So this is a serious engagement. But I think the flank is going to work an absolute treat for Zerg here. He's just ripped through a lot of carcasses on this side of the field. But he does reposition his lurkers. And what remains here is probably going to go down on the back of that. Although maybe it's going to just about be even. Oh, wow. That's about as even as a fight can get. So Artosis has dropped behind in supply. Seems to be struggling a little bit with gas. Still hasn't established his third, which I think is a really, really critical point in this game. Now we've doubled in with the mutas. The vessel is not got any energy for an irradiate. So the mutas should be able to go toe-to-toe, especially with the Hydras helping them. Nice little bit of kiting and microing from Arto there. I really thought that was well done. So that trade did not go well for Zerg at all. And so it's a bit of a back and forth here for sure. Very exciting part of this match. And more Hydras come streaming down the hill. Looks like Ozzy wants to try and pressure this position. Will he irradiate here or just try and knock this lurker off? There's only one lurker there, I expect. Yep, so that lurker's gone. So he could probably push here. He's sending a Hydra to come in and try and counterattack Arto's third. One of the frustrations of someone who watches Artosis' games on a regular basis is he does not protect his newly established income as well as what we sometimes want him to. So iNcontrol is applying pressure here. He's forcing a liftoff. It's killing a lot of SCVs. Holy crap, he's now below 40. This has been a really, really, really profitable attack. And I guess the question is, where is Artosis' army? It's just kind of stopped here. What are we doing? We're moving a few vultures. I think he's going to lose this command center too. And I think this is an avoidable loss. I really do. Now, for the first time, his army starts to move. But it's just too late. The damage is done. So some reinforcing Hydras come and fight with Goliaths. There's no base of his that he was counter-pressuring that I missed, is there? I don't think so. So this was the siege tanks that I was hearing earlier that have just kind of walked into the front door. Not ideal, but this is just a very sad loss for sure. So 34 workers. iNcontrol does have plenty of bases. I did miss this little bit of vulture harassment, which has worked out pretty well. So this vulture got himself 3 kills before being sent to tidy it up. And these Hydras are just chilling here, basically putting out the gauntlet to Artosis to re-establish this base. And then they will probably die. So another base up here. I like this game for Zerg. I think he's got plenty of macro power. But I never ever write Artosis off. I think he's always got some fight in him. So we are repositioning some Hydras to potentially take another engagement. We obviously want to now protect this area, so we're sending everything in the kitchen sink to make sure we can establish here. So iNcontrol is going to run his Hydras away to just get killed by mines, it looks like. Yeah, cheers boys. Thanks very much. These overlords have just been left here to their own devices, which is hilarious. And yeah, so where are we in this game? 112 plays 104. I think iNcontrol could afford to make a few more drones. Which he is doing. Okay, it's got a couple in the production tab now. To get up to that 65 number would be very good. A couple more hatches so that he can just pump production. Does have Hive. I don't see what Hive tech he's making as of yet. Does have a Defiler mount. Is making an Ultraless Cavern, so we're going to get everything. Artosis now trying to apply some pressure. Tidying up the Scourge that are kind of like scouting Scourge, so just a bit of a waste. And yeah, he's got nothing stopping him from coming up here. No counterattack that needs to be afraid of. iNcontrol sending a few lings, which aren't going to do much. So what do you take this scary tank army on with if you are Zerg? I honestly don't know. Transferring some drones, so we're protecting those. But these drones are very vulnerable. They're going to probably die, as are all these hatcheries, unless he chooses to engage. So not sure exactly what iNcontrol's plan is. He's got some pods of hydras, and he's just kind of leaving them there. So he's kind of sacking this area. And things are suddenly looking very good for Artosis again. Oh man, the tanks are just going to juice these hydras. I'm sure that the defilers help a bit. Some lings now coming into it as well. And Plague-oo! So we can at least trade, as opposed to just getting slaughtered. Okay, so Artosis decides that's enough of that. Got myself all the hatches I wanted, killed some drones. I'm a happy chappy. He's going to pick off a few defilers here. These are good picks from him. Well done. The defilers just getting totally wedged in there. A few more mines coming in. Oh, the ultras have arrived. Hello. Could get some fun mine drags here. Nice flank on this mechanical army. Is he just going to storm this head on? When I say storm, like bond or charge. Does look like a bond or charge. I like how the smoke cloud goes up in Colosseum. It's pretty damn juicy. This is a good flank though, and a seriously good attack. Nice thumbnail candidate too. He's just shredding through this though. It's like a butcher. The tanks just shred through the hydras. It reminds me a little bit of a PvT when you're just going like with gateway units. And you're like, why is all my shit dying? It's because tanks are strong, bro. Like especially 3-3 tanks. Damn. You're not gonna get much done there, are you? So Otto's third is now finally up and running, but that's his only mining base, guys. So in terms of income, it's going to be challenged. He needs another base, I think. If you can do this off of one mining base, it's going to be because his mech units are just really, really strong, and Zerg cannot find a good trade at all. But I do feel like it's going to have to be another base. Tank sieging up again. Oof. Wow, those vultures got tidied up quick, smart. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. So this game has been insanely close all along. But I gotta say, if you're Zerg, shutting down this source of income has got to be the play. Because you've got so many bases. I'm sure Otto now will try and take a few of these down. But iNcontrol is gathering his forces again to try and possibly flank. We'll kind of keep an eye on this. We'll zoom in when the convergence has. All going to be from one side. The lings are going to get nothing done. Oh my god, that hatchery disappeared so fast. Wow. Okay, so some ultras are going to get on top of the clump tanks. Throw down some storm! Oh wait, sorry, wrong race. Oh dear, that did not go well at all. Goodbye, Zerg hatchery. Goodbye, Zerg drones. We're not counter-attacking either. We're just... oh no, wait, maybe now we are. Yeah, we've decided, well, if your army's here, then your only source of money is here. And this is the part that I was mentioning again earlier. Artosis never really leaves too much behind to protect his most critical source of income. It's another example here. There's 2 tanks and nothing else. A couple of vultures and stuff here, but the liftoff has been forced, which means he's not mining. These trips on these mines here with these retreating SCVs could be catastrophic. Seems to have gotten away with it, where it was mostly just lings that died to the mine drags. But there's nowhere else to mine, right? So, like, his income is gone. So yep, his army's not going to probably go kill this base and this base. But he's got no money, so he's got to basically trade without losing anything. By the way, look how slow these APMs are. Like, these guys both obviously improved so much through their careers. This is still very much the early phases of it. So we've got an Idis, so some Ultras should be able to contend for this spot. Artosis has re-established this base, which is critical and very, very good. Wow, it's so many Dorito clouds, bro. So he decides maybe just to stall for a few minutes. Let's see. Let's see. Kind of just showing nice patience here. Would be good to see him try and establish another base behind this. But the plan here just seems to be clearly just to choke him out. These two overlords, by the way, are still here. Like, no worries at all. We like having overlords in our base. Oh, the drag and kills the vulture. Some more Dorito clouds. I don't think it's going to matter much. Oh my god. Siege tanks, bro. So strong. Just pulverize those ultras. And this is a very slow, methodical win, I think, for Artie, because he kills these bases. As long as he's got enough just to keep reinforcing a little, which I think he does. Just enough income to replenish this very strong mechanical army, which is trading so cost effectively against the Zerg units. Just tidy these up in tank mode, I'd imagine. Does kill one tank. And now sending some units here again. Excuse me if you heard me sneezing. It's a bit of a Hail Mary here, sending in the Ultras, but there's a fair number of them. So he's going to need some help. Does irradiate, which helps. These two are getting quite low. He's busy taking down that base on the other side. Has to pull again, but does just about tidy this up. He can't shoot this, so he's going to lose because he's busy microing over here, I expect. No, he's just chilling up here. So this tiny, this Ultra with 13 hit points is the reason why he's had to lift off. Sending a few more lings as well. Meanwhile, we've now got the confidence to move in here and destroy these remaining bases. And the drone noises, the noise of dying drones, this Ultra. He's so confused. He's just running around doing nothing. Ah, oh wait, no, he's got a plan now. Vultures are going to tidy him up. Okay, well, that's the end of that. We've re-established our base. We can carry on. And this is going to be the end of this hatchery and this hatchery. And this is just an example of having a very strong mechanical composition that can trade way more effectively than the Zerg. I think the one thing I will say about iNcontrol in this game is when he had a chance to really explode his macro and get his drone count up to about 60-65, he didn't do that. I think he would have had an opportunity to overrun Artosis in the mid game if he had. But Artosis just played with very strong units and controlled them pretty well. And that's gonna be good enough. So the power of mech versus Zerg, definitely a thing, something that we see being exploited even more nowadays in modern meta. But this is very nicely illustrated by Artosis in this game on Colosseum. And oh my god, it's lifting again, guys. The number of liftoffs, like, it isn't gonna matter. iNcontrol's got 45 supplies, 16 drones, but he's lifted off this one remaining base so many times. Like, it's actually comical. Anyway, is he gonna send some units to deal with these ultras? Oh wow, the number of mines he ate, he didn't even get through. Freaking hilarious. There we go, he radiates this one for luck. And I don't think iNcontrol's got much left. He's got this base and that's about it. So he's really struggling for money. He's got no drones. Now he drops in a lurker as well. Well, you know, courage. This, I think, was a competition game, which is why it's under the Artosis / media. So it's good to see them valiantly playing right through to the end. It's going to have to now tidy up this lurker, assuming he looks at the lurkers. Ah, there they are. Hi, lurkers. Oh, there goes the vessel. Ouch. So I think RT will come and tidy up the last of these lurkers. And then I think we will see iNcontrol GG. I'm really enjoying these retrocasts, guys. They are heaps and heaps of fun. If you've stuck with me the whole game, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I would love some feedback if these retrocasts are something that you enjoy and that you'd love to see some more of. As I mentioned, I've got some Day 9 games. I've got some more Idra games. I've got a number of Artosis games. And yeah, we can see a little bit of a... This is where they were saying go next. So they were obviously playing a series. The next game was on Destination. I don't know if I have that one or not, or if it was worth keeping. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I really had a lot of fun with you today. As mentioned before, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. Please hit that like button. It just sends me a signal that this is the kind of thing that you enjoy watching. And until next time, you take it easy, and I will see you soon.